everyone, and welcome back to That Is My Opinion with me, SoCal's tiniest little raindrop, April Showers. We're back and recapping and reviewing episode 10, the finale of Canada's Drag Race. And let's welcome my special guest this evening. I met him while he was here in Southern California, all the way from Las Vegas, and you can catch him on YouTube. Give it up for Matty. Hi, love.
Thanks for having me, April. How are you doing, love?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, glad to be here. I'm showing some love on April's channel, everybody. She's been on mine for the Drag Race Las Vegas review. And so thanks to everybody who has shown their love to April on my channel. I'm here to show love back. So Rant Pack, if you're in the house, hey!
Yes, and check out his Las Vegas review, ladies and gentlemen. Also, how are you? How is this coronavirus quarantine treating you? What have you been up to?
Well, other than me finding my forever home recently that I'm excited to be moving into on the 16th and everything else that's been going on out here, I've been honestly just working on my YouTube channel as well as auditioning for a few things that are coming up and putting my faith in those projects to see what's happening. But I'm just focusing on me doing what I got to do. Brandy song.
Yes, I'm glad you're doing well. All right, thank you so much for joining me. Let's get started. We made it finally to the finale of Canada's Drag Race. I know you also been recapping the show, so check that out too, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get started. Last week we said goodbye to Jimbo. Do you agree on Miss Jimbo getting sent home?
Well, okay, listen.
Remember, this is our opinion, ladies and gentlemen.
It wasn't a great episode for Jimbo, and honestly, Jimbo should have had a couple more wins under her belt. But if you're gonna base it on the lip sync, Rita won the lip sync. So I love Jimbo to death, but I'm also a realist in saying that, you know, what was the last scorecard was the last scorecard. But yeah, Jimbo leaving was really sad.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in her lip sync because I waited so long I wanted to see her lip sync. So the moment she lip synced, I felt like, oh, I wanted more. I wanted more Jimbo.
It was the headpiece.
Yeah, she was like this the whole time.
Right, it was the killer.
Yeah. But she was a very strong competitor. One of my favorites too. Yeah, so we had to say goodbye to Jimbo. Alright, so those who haven't seen the episode yet, we're not going to reveal who won. However, Scarlett finally won something. Do you think she will snatch the crown?
I think she will be very much in a high position to take the crown based on her not having any negative points against her. But also the wins from the others and them being the bottom kind of balance that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's tough.
Yeah, we can go over and break down real quick like who won what. BoBo has one maxi, BoBo has one maxi win and she's never been in the bottom. Also, we have Rita who has 3 maxi wins and has been in the bottom twice. And then we have Priyanka who has 2 maxi wins and been in the bottom 2 times. We obviously know, like in the past, especially here, like the American version of RuPaul's Drag Race, like Bianca's never been in the bottom and she's won. Alaska's never been in the bottom and she's won. So who knows, maybe Scarlett might have a chance to snatch the crown. I enjoy her.
We shall see for the BoBo that is Scarlett. But I have an affinity for Scarlett because we have the same boy name, which is Matty. So I'm like, oh. I found out just 2 weeks ago and I was like, oh, you're now my best friend.
Come on, best friend. We love it. All right, so we got our maxi challenge, our final maxi challenge, and they have to write and record a remix of RuPaul's You Wear It Well. Come on, wear it well. The pressure's on, they're gonna do choreography. I personally can sing, yet again I can't even spell help, so I would be freaking out. But I think it's cool how they're taking the song and they gotta write their own lyrics. Did you have any favorite like lyrics of the girls that stood out to you?
I think that Priyanka's was the best in my opinion. Something about What's My Name is really, she's very good at making catchy, lyrics or whatever. I thought that BoBo's was also pretty good too. BoBo's was like more of a power anthem for the LGBTQ community, plus A plus I, you excuse me. I keep on forgetting. Listen, I'm all about inclusion, but you know, we add another letter there and I'm like, now explain to me, because I need to make sure I know what my alphabet soup is going. But I thought that was really cool how BoBo did that. And I also think Rita can sing. Now, can she write music? But she can sing.
Yes, she can. And especially if we rewatch it, the girls are like, oh shit, Rita can sing. Is this gonna be another biggest competition that we're gonna have to, like, who knows, she might snatch a crown. Rewatching it after she started singing, I'm like, okay, she's struggling a little bit. And then when I saw the performance, I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
Well, you saw that she can sing, but she doesn't have any rhythm.
Choreography-wise, is she needs a lot of help.
She's Mariah Carey.
Yes, very me too.
And Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And a lot of the 90s R&B divas that to this day, y'all know they can't do nothing but shuffle, ship on over, and shoulder. And shoulder.
Oh my god, come on, shoulders and handography. Handography, ladies and gentlemen. And then, like we said, we talked about Priyanka. I really love how she's on brand. Like, what's my name? My name is Priyanka. Which was really stood out to me as well. Touch base real quick. I really like how they had their meeting with obviously the two judges, Jeffrey and the other lovely lady, Canadian's girlfriend, Tracy. I always forget her name, but she is my favorite. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. She has so much personality and I love her. So let's just talk real quick about how Scarlett opened up, about her mom being her big supporter, and obviously her stepdad, who was an alcoholic. I can kind of relate. My dad, obviously I'm gonna spill some tea right now, or spill my life story, is an alcoholic as well, so I really touched base with this story. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna cry, my mascara is running. It's a really strong story, and I like how people can relate to it as well.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, go ahead, Lev.
No, I'm just happy that BoBo was a survivor of that kind of abuse and that her mom was as well. That's some stories people don't get to tell. And, you know, that was something we didn't even learn about BoBo until more midway later in the season. And we have conversations on my channel all the time with me and Jamar84 when we say, if they tell their life story, they're probably going home. Because now they don't have a reason to keep them. It's like, okay, so you told us your business. Do you have good? No. Okay, bye. So to me, I was glad that Scarlett told that story, and that curse of I'm gonna tell you my business didn't take her out, because she came through a little bit in the end here, and it's really nice to see.
Yes. No, I agree with you. Every time they give us a sob story, it's like, now sashay away. Goodbye.
Blair St. Clair.
Blair St. Clair. This is why I enjoyed Canada's Drag Race, because we've got a lot of touching stories, and a lot of it is relatable, and every time we got a touching story, yes, some of the girls were being sent home, but at the same time, they kept a lot of them, and I feel like our Drag Race, like in the earlier seasons, we would get a lot more sob stories. Now, not so many, which I kind of miss about our Drag Race, so this is why Canada's so raw and so unfiltered.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that it was more organic with their sob stories, because we got to know a lot of these people before it said give it, because a lot of the ones that went home early, there was not that moment. We only had a couple brief exchanges. But like Ilona's story, that one we got a little midway season into, and she made it pretty far, so we got to understand who she was. Boa's story. Boa made it midway. They introduced it early on. She made it midway through, so there was an understanding there. Jimbo had many and plenty of time to talk, and you got to understand a lot about Jimbo. Scarlett was midway. Priyanka, the entire season, was giving you her life story. The entire season. Lemon was giving a bit. Tynomi gave a lot. Anastarzia had like a little bit of a moment, but you knew who Anastarzia was in just them 3 episodes, okay? Mother. And I mean, just going through the cast, even Kiara, I mean, Kyne really didn't get nothing because Kyne was being a biatch. So
long live Kyne.
This is my look that I'm redoing.
Oh my god.
And I moved.
Baga, the whole Montreal French Canadian storyline the entire way. And I was here for it. So yeah, I like that about Canada's Drag Race. Storytelling.
It is runway time, ladies and gentlemen, and our special guest this week, Canadian's girlfriend, Tracy Melchior. Did I say your name right? Her last name? Yes.
I hope we said it right. If we didn't, comment section.
Comment below. I personally like her personality. I've been waiting to see her on the main stage. She's always so cute with her like little bob. She's one of my favorite. She's been one of my favorites so far. As like a guest judge. Thoughts and opinions on Miss Tracy?
Well, here's the issue. Most people will say Matty didn't like Tracy the first time because I found her to be a little too, hey friend, hey friend, hey friend, hey friend, like all that. I was like, I can't do all that. But then as the show has progressed and I've seen more of her on, I'm like, okay, I like me some Tracy. And I liked her this episode too, because when they did the one-on-ones with Jeffrey Boyer to finish the rest of it, I like the questions she was asking, and it seemed genuine, and she seemed interested, especially when a part on the runway came up with Priyanka and she mentioned her West Indian heritage and how she could relate to Priyanka. I was like, now, see, this is stuff I want to hear so I know who you are. So I love little bits like that. So yeah, Tracy's a good guest judge, and maybe for the next couple of seasons, it'll be nice to see her jump back in a couple times.
This is, I think one of the reasons why I fell in love with her is because, okay, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like a lot of the other judges, I'm not going to say names, are a little too robotic and kind of want to be like Ru. When Tracy came in, it was just Tracy. Or they're not trying to be Ru. She's just herself, which I struggle a lot with the other judges. To me, sometimes they sound a little too robotic, where I'm like, okay, can't we just be ourselves? And then when they bring in their special guests, a lot of their special guests were themselves, which I struggled a lot panel-wise with the judges in that way.
Oh.
Tell
us.
us.
Say names, so I'll say them.
Okay, here we go.
Real. You're
referring to Brooklyn in the first part of the season, because in the first part of the season, Brooklyn was a robot. As the seasons progress, I'm so much enjoying Brooklyn's opinion, because she does the whole, well, if I did this, if I did this, if you did this, if you did this, if you did this. It's like, thank you. Give them a list of things they could have done differently. Jeffrey Boyer Chapman would be the other one, and he's received a lot of criticism. But yes, he has really tried very hard to do RuPaul's voice a couple times when he's speaking, and it's like, what is happening here? So yeah, I like Stacey. Stacey's cool, and yeah, but I think that with time they'll get better. I think Brooklyn's really evolved, and yeah, we'll see.
You watched the early seasons of Drag Race, minus the filter. It was all trial and error, ladies and gentlemen.
Santino was an ass.
Ah, Santino. Come on, Santino. Long live Santino.
So rude, but I like Santino.
For some reason, we bring him up all the time in my recaps. All the time. This is the third time we talked about him, but hey, it is what it is.
I do bet, not that I do, but no, I come on, second runner-up of Project Runway 6'5".
Oh my God.
Come on, daddy.
I'm so done. I am so done. Alright, let's move on, Matty, to the main stage performance. The girls came out. They all looked like pop stars in their black outfits they were all wearing. Out of all of them, like we said, I think Priyanka stood out the most to me. The only thing that threw me off, the dancers looked so young. Did you look at the dance? I don't know if that was I was watching it like, how old are they? They look so young. And the queens were twice as tall, like taller than them. I'm like, okay, whoever's casting these dancers, let's go back and recast.
It was like a bunch of like grown women running around with their children saying, get back here, like give the toy back to, no, I did get that a little bit. The dancers were a little bit, short and stout compared to the queens, especially Rita in a sense, which was why you could see a lot of Rita's mistakes. The judges didn't see it, but we did. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought they did a good job. I think that Scarlett's energy was really amazing. I thought Priyanka is so good at what she does. I hated that outfit she was wearing, but I loved her performance. And then Rita's outfit was great. I thought Rita, you know, did the assignment. It could have been much worse. That's what she gets for coming to rehearsals in the Matrix outfit.
Not the Matrix outfit.
I was like, what is she going to do? Is she about to open up a briefcase to another portal into a different dimension of time? I thought she was Doctor Who in some sort of like rubbery S&M type of feel. I didn't understand it, Mama. And then it was big and heavy. I was like, what are you doing? Is it cold? Like, I always want to know that with this show. Is it cold in there? Because they're always covered to the T.
Well, here's the tea. With experience, and I've heard like from the other girls, it's like below, well, I don't know, this is Canada's Drag Race. I know RuPaul's Drag Race, it's like below 60 because obviously Ru likes it really cold. And I think like when I was on AJ and the Queen, we experienced that. There was one day when we were on set and Ru was a boy and the AC was like, okay, it was warm but not freezing. The next day they warned us like RuPaul's gonna be in drag the next day, get ready to be freezing in here. So we all had to show up in coats and jackets and it was literally below 60. So maybe it's the same for them, who knows? But I don't know when this was filmed. Was this filmed in the winter, in the spring?
I don't actually know either, but it's so funny when you say that because when I interviewed Jiggly Caliente, she was like, girl, it was hot. I was like, really? She said, yes, bitch. We were back there sweating. It was not cold. I was like, so what was this going on? She goes, I don't know what RuPaul was going through on them other seasons, but my season, it was hot. I was like, then again, she was also transitioning at that time, was in the midst of her stuff. So that's when I was like, girl, you know, it might have been that shot, mama, got you a little riled up in the blood. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I've always found it funny with these episodes when they come in and I'm like, they're in scarves and hats and gloves and coats. Like they're about to make a snowman right there in the workroom and then start a whole new challenge. Next year's mini challenge. There you go, season 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna go over these looks. These are our opinions, so comment below if you don't like what we said about the looks. All right, so let's get started. The category was Coronation Eleganza, their very best drag, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get started. We have first Miss Rita Baga. Okay, so she came out in green. She's kind of giving me like Wicked Witch meets Medusa. And then her hair was braided back. This was cute. It's obviously very Rita too, because I know she's also a club kid and she's different. I saw this and I thought it was good.
Okay.
Thoughts and opinions, Matty?
So, all right. I
Well, this is
understand.
his opinion, ladies and gentlemen.
Girl, I have plenty. No.
Okay, here's the thing. I like the dress. Would I have said this is a finale dress? No. The green skin is interesting. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's interesting. I'm not wowed by the bit. I get the whole metamorphosis from the dress that she wore when she came into the workroom, all the way to the finale of the runway. I enjoyed that storyline aspect. This wig though, I don't care for her. Look, I gotta zoom in. Oh, no. To me, this ages Rita, in a sense. Yeah, it's a little, you know, Bram Stoker's Dracula kind of tease. You know, I feel she's about to, you know, loft down a little bit and suck on somebody to maybe make her skin look a better color. I don't know. Listen, Rita, this is actually nice. I like it. I love elements about it, but I think for me, I thought you were gonna go a different route for the finale. So
It doesn't like it would be good for maybe another challenge, maybe in the early seasons, like in the early episodes. Is it screaming Coronation Eleganza? Now that I see it, no.
I wouldn't want that to be a crowned look for her.
No.
I give her props on painting herself green.
You
You know what? That prom look would have been a excellent finale gown to watch. Oh my God! Now that one with that dry, with a little wet hair number. Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh
yes. That screams Eleganza Coronation. All right, moving on. We have Scarlett BoBo, ladies and gentlemen, and she came out in giving us all black, pink, and her red hair. Okay. So can I just say something real quick on this look?
Sure.
So I like it from the waist up. When it gets to the waist, it looks a little weird. Like it looked like it was too big for her. And I don't like a thigh high with this because I feel like it's cutting off the leg. I don't know how tall she is, and I've said this before in my recaps. A lot of stuff she wears, I feel like she's shortening herself. I am a very short person too, so I have to be careful what I wear. I just feel like from the waist down, it looks really weird. She looks stunning from the waist up.
I so agree.
Yeah.
I haven't even filmed my review yet, which I'm filming tomorrow. And I'm over here like, that is literally my opinion. Them boots, girl, do not need to be with this outfit because the skirt itself is already loose. It's not cinched in correctly. And it needs to be a little bit more tailored around the waist area to make the billow have a better effect. I did like the fact that it could move and you could throw it, but it also looked like a duvet cover that you were just throwing around. It really did. I was like, I know that bedroom. I know it very well. Low-key, Jake Yoncé's bedroom probably has this cover on. I'm just saying. Like, you could see the black and pink in his room. Girl, I will call him today and be like, I saw your duvet cover on Scarlett.
Jake Yoncé, ladies and gentlemen. I do like how the train flowed when she came down the runway and how she played with it. Just not one of my favorites. I think she could have done a little better for Coronation Eleganza. Yeah, I love her hair and she looks stunning.
When the skirt came off and it was a bodysuit later. Yeah, that was like, oh, I like this. This is a hot little number. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but overall it was just an okay look, Scarlett. Sorry.
Good way,
Yeah. All right, and then last but not least, we have, what's her name? Priyanka, ladies and gentlemen. I saw this and I gasped. This is beautiful. This is very her heritage. She looks stunning. She looks gorgeous. I don't know if I can say anything wrong about this look. Everything about it is right. It's so perfect. Tell us, Matty. Tell us how you feel. Remember, you could disagree with me. It doesn't matter. I get into it all the time with my special guest.
Honestly, I screamed so loud when this came out because it's such a, this is me. Oh, like I felt like the music from The Showman was about to start and we're about to get a full cast of, crazy looking people. But this was beautiful. It is Bollywood. It is a beautiful Indian wedding tease. It is very, my daughter's getting married today and this is like the most beautiful. I thought this was gorgeous and I love the detailing in the dress. I love how her makeup is done. I love the entire headpiece and the way it moved and flowed and she felt, it felt right. I was like, oh my God. When that dress came down, I said, they need to give this crown to that one. Because that was it.
Color palette is so beautiful too. Also, it reminds me too a lot of her, I think her pageant look with the blue and the gold. Like these two is like together is like a collection.
There's so many rich colors in the Indian culture and that heritage within like so much lineage between deities and gods and this, that, and the other, that when I see something like this, like how Priyanka showcased it with those blues and the golds and the reds and all of this, I am just like, I'm so impressed. That's all I could be, was impressed. I was like, oh.
I was speechless. Yeah.
It was like, oh, we've never seen that before, and it to be done very well, and it not to be an appropriation
or offend anyone. Yeah, it was like perfectly done. Yes. Okay, so out of the 3 remaining looks, I want to ask you, who is your favorite?
Priyanka's.
Save. And your least? Do you have a least favorite?
Okay, so it's going to go to Rita just for the green makeup. Now, Scarlett's look was something I can actually be like, okay, pass on, that's all right, we good. But Rita's, I was like, why the green? In the hair. Ooh, the hair and the green makeup.
I would have to say, just because I didn't like the fit, Scarlett BoBo. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm sorry, don't hate me. However, I would wear it at the club and do a cute little number.
You show your little leg, give me some steps.
Yeah. I mean, I think I own those boots too, and I do Ariana Grande in them. I really do. Back into Untucked, and who is waiting for us on the couches? the eliminated queens, ladies and gentlemen. I was a little sad though because I thought we were gonna get an actual reunion. The only thing about the Untucked and Candace Drag Race is I want more. I feel like we've just been getting little snippets of it.
I'll be real with you. Let's think about Untucked for this last All Stars and how unnecessary half of those episodes were. And then let's even go into season, what was this, 12? And how half of those Untucks, more than half of those Untucks were very unnecessary. I'm okay with the 5-minute routine, but if it's gonna be all of those people in there, that should have been a 15-minute extra minute segment of everybody getting a moment versus just a speech. Like, I miss you, or I love you, and what was this, and how did that? It was like, oh my God, but everybody looked good, except for Kyne.
Except for Kyne. Well, talking about Kyne, I live for Priyanka confronting her. She's like, do you think Kyne was a bitch, or did the competition get the best of her? I think Kyne has a lot of opinions too.
Jimbo certainly made sure to clock her on that and said, girl, you were talking about my makeup. And she said, I was just trying to help.
End of the day, look who lasted longer in the competition.
Not Ursula the Sea Witch.
No, yeah. I thought Kyne looked cute in her blue. She's like, no opinion.
That wig was rude.
It was very 80s.
Dionne Warwick in a blue dress getting a Grammy for no reason. She was like, I wasn't even in this song. That was that. I was like, no, ma'am.
Oh my God. I was so done. So talking about the girls that came back, do you have any favorite looks from the eliminated queens?
Anastarzia and Jimbo down.
Yes, Anastarzia and Anaquway look really good in the gold. Yes.
You know she made it.
Yeah.
She made it.
Stunning. I was rooting for her from the beginning. So sad to see her go, but she looked so good.
She's done All Stars.
Yes.
Just take her through looks. Just get her halfway through so we can get at least 6 or 7 looks out of her.
Yes, we need more of her. Yeah.
She's nasty.
Yeah.
And Jimbo I thought was amazing.
Yes, Jimbo was so good.
It almost looks like a giant float.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, reveal.
Into Sexy Clown, which she's been giving us the last few episodes. And she looks so good, like the best. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So good. And I lived for the color palette, and it was very Jimbo too. Sexy Clown. My other one was Kiara with the red and the feathers. That was gorgeous. And then I really liked Lemons. Lemons was really cute too.
I have to give honorable mentions because they honestly all looked really good. Ilona, your indigenous heritage was showcased in that look, and I thought that was really fire. Juice Boxx, you went home too soon. Your body is amazing in that dress. Boa, that's what glam looks like. Thank you. Do it again, please. All right.
More, yes. And then, last but not least, Kyne.
Well, no, and I also like Tynomi's look too, because Tynomi gave me Wakanda tease. I was like, yes, for the good old giant knots in her hair. I was here for it, and yeah.
She also looked really good too, especially like in the season when the judges kept coming for her look. I felt like when she got sent home, she looked really good, and then when she came back, she looked amazing. Yeah. We're gonna get our finale lip sync of the season. All 3 are gonna lip sync for their life. We finally get to see Scarlett really lip sync because we've been waiting all season for her. And they all have to lip sync one more last time. Thoughts on the lip sync? I thought the song choice was good, and I thought they all started off very strong.
Yeah, I did like the song choice. I like anything that's very up-tempo or even in a mid-tempo feel where it's very danceable. As far as the lip sync goes, I think this was a perfect time for Scarlett to showcase her ability. I low-key wish she was in the bottom earlier to show us this. Another song, possibly, but to me, I thought Scarlett won the lip sync, but I was focused on Priyanka a lot.
Same. And then Rita was more obviously controlled, and Rita was doing Rita. Hanography. But yeah, Scarlett.
Off her dress and walked around her.
Yeah. But when Scarlett did that reveal, and then I think she did a split, right? I was like, yes, this is what I've been waiting to see from Scarlett.
She did I think she did one of the Monique Hart splits where that knees kicked back just a little bit so you don't hurt yourself. I know you, Monique. I know that split. That's the I want to see my babies next day. I thought it was very dope, but I thought the best move from Scarlett was that slide across the stage. that was controlled and it was right on time and it looked so good with her hair dragging. I was like, oh, it was just so right. I loved it. But yeah, that was good.
And her reveal is what gave us that moment too. Talking about splits, I'm still learning how to do the splits, so, and I'm gonna do a half split. A half split. No, well, like here's the thing, like if I were to ever get on Drag Race, I would want to be, I want the Scarlett BoBo edit, or you know, how she was never in the bottom and she finally made it to the end, because that's how you make it to the end. You just want to be consistent, and then you want to start off like this, and then when you get towards the middle, you want to go up, and then towards the end, you really want to skyrocket, because that's what will get you to the finale. Yeah, I think if I ever end up in the bottom, I would freak myself out.
If I ended up in the bottom, I'd be like, all right, whoever's coming up is going home, so let's get this on. Let's go. I would have been ready, like, oh, I've been waiting for this girl. Let's get her.
Kiara would have an Ilona moment. I think when she lip-synced against Tynomi, she's like, I can't do this, you're my sister, I want to go home. I think low-key that would be me. She's like, no, she's like cracking her fingers. She's like, I'm ready, girl.
Like, remember when Kennedy went
Katya and she started doing squats and like stretching? That's me. Because it's like, oh, bitch, I'm about to, she going home, not I.
That's how you freak out the other girl. She's like, oh shit, I can't do this.
Oh, I would be giggling like, oh, I'm at the bottom.
I'm at the bottom.
All right. I start taking all my shit off. They're like,
yes.
Okay, yes, I am.
I love it. I love it. All right, so out of the three, obviously we're gonna pick a winner, and the winner of Canada's Drag Race is, we can say it together. What's her name? 1, 2, 3. What's her name? Priyanka.
Yes.
Come on, Priyanka. Do we agree?
Agreed.
Yeah, well deserved. Well
I should have
deserved.
seen it going to Scarlett, BoBo, or
Yeah.
Priyanka in the finale. I was
Yeah.
like, either of the two.
Yeah, I thought Jimbo was gonna make it to the end, but hey, we still got Rita. No, I've been a huge fan of Priyanka since the beginning. I've kind of followed her prior to Canada's Drag Race too, and when I got to see even more of her when the Meet the Queens came out, I'm like, oh, I like her. I like her personality, I love her name, and like we said, she obviously has the background, and this is what we need more of this. More of this. It was really good. She had a really great run too.
She's the best kind of corny because she's like a fierce, corny queen. Like she doesn't, she's in on the joke. She knows what the funny is. Now she can't produce it all the time, as you can see, when she's not being herself. But when she's herself, it's brilliant. And I just, yeah, I like that about Priyanka. And at first I was like, okay, I don't know about a couple of these runways, and I don't know about this and that and the other. But every time she lip synced, I was on hush. It was like, oh my God, she is amazing. And then I'd be brought back in again. So I think that's one thing about Priyanka, is that when she was in the bottom, she had the most impact when it came down to her performances.
Congrats, Miss Priyanka, and we finally have our crowned Canadian winner. Our first one ever, ladies and gentlemen.
One, and her
Yes.
POC.
Yes. Right, so before you go, I want to ask you, I want your opinions on the whole season of Canada's Drag Race.
The entire season of Canada's Drag Race was, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, everybody. Negative Susan, well, it's Nancy. Anywho, it's a good season. It was a great cast, and I think that's what really made the season so special. We had so many people we liked and were rooting for. We had people who we didn't like the next day and then fell in love with them again the following week. You know what I mean? It was a lot of that. This was a lot of group love that came around Canada's Drag Race, in my opinion. That love also brought a lot of criticism that wasn't necessary or needed, but that just is what happens when you're doing these reality TV shows and people don't know how to take their hands away from 140 characters. I think the judging needs to be looked at a little bit more closely, because this 3 people thing is weird. I got used to it, but I kind of like having a main head honcho. So to me, if they're gonna do 3, make someone the main one and then the other 2. And that way it doesn't feel like it's their sole decision, but that person's like the one leading this trip down the line. That was my only issue. Like even JBC was saying some dumb stuff, but to me I was more like, well, am I mad at him because he's the main judge or a part of the 3? Like that's where I was at. I don't understand this. So that's my only issue. It's the only thing I want. Just
of us off. My thing is, if we're not gonna get Ru, and we're just gonna see her via, like, on the video messages. Can we at least make Michelle a permanent judge?
Does Michelle have the time is the question, and if I believe she does, I think that Michelle should be I kind of agree with that.
Because I feel like her episode, especially when she came in, her critiques were very well. They weren't harsh. And it's fucking Michelle Visage. She waited for this moment to come out and host the runway. And
it felt right. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I wouldn't want her to do RuPaul's Drag Race, but if she did something else, I'm like, I would be here for Michelle as the main judge because she did have great critiques. She was still catty, but she wasn't an ass about it. She was catty.
It wasn't mean.
Yeah, like when Jimbo came up. So is this your thing? Because I want to know before we start talking about it. So I was like, right, like, what is this?
Yeah, like we said, maybe the judging, but it's all trial and error, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think we're gonna get a season 2?
Yes.
Yeah, I need a season 2, like, right now.
It was too good.
Yeah, I will literally move to Canada and audition for season 3.
You and me both. I guess we'll be on there together.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna become Canadians. By season 3 and 4 will be on.
We'll be living.
Well, hey, yeah. I mean, and even Ilona, I think, was living in LA, and then she went back to Canada to film. So hey, I mean, you never know. You never know. Yes. Thank you so much, Matty, for joining me. Thank you. Thank you. Before we go, do you want to drop your social media platforms where we can catch you besides the strip, late night in Vegas? No, just kidding.
Instagram and on Facebook, and at the Matty Rants on Twitter, and of course on YouTube, the Matty Rants channel. You'll find April Showers there for the Vegas reviews. Jamar84 joins me for most of Drag Race. He'll be joining me for the final episode of Canada's Drag Race, and he'll also be my co-host for Drag Race Holland.
Come on, Drag Race Holland.
Jesus, that should be interesting. And then also, you know, we are covering other shows too. We do Sunday lives where we have sort of like a powwow get together. Y'all get on the computer with me. We eat food and drink and talk, you know, all that good stuff. So yeah, join me there. That's where you find me.
Give him a follow, ladies and gentlemen, and subscribe to his YouTube channel because he is very entertaining and I live. Thank you so much, Matty, for joining me. And yes, don't forget to watch our Las Vegas Drag Race recap and review. Thank you. And then on the count of 3, we're gonna say bye. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, bye!
Bye!